to Mozambique, where the National Electoral Commission in the country says it will announce the results of the 9 October general elections on Thursday, though through the Constitutional Council. The CNE has 15 days to announce the official results to meet a deadline that will be met on October 24th. Meanwhile, in a strongly worded statement, the European Union Election Observation Commission says EU observers were prevented to observe the tabulation processes in some districts and provinces, as well as the national level. Mozambique's government has also denied on Tuesday that there was an intention to fire tear gas at journalists during clashes between police and demonstrators in Maputo city, with at least 3 media professionals injured. And now joining us to unpack this is political analyst, Peace Room representative Withney Sabino. Withney, many thanks for doing this with us. Let's get started. I mean, what are your assessments of the recent election in Mozambique? Do you believe they were, conducted fairly, or how do they, better yet, how do they even reflect the current political dynamics in the country?
Thank you for having me. Greetings to all the people that are listening to us. So at first, we have released a report in which we believe that it was clear that the process was relatively calm, despite all the incidents, the ballot stuffing, and the irregularities that we have reported. And most of the different groups, such as European Union, SADC, and African Union mission observations, also reported. However, we are very concerned by this unforeseen direction that the process has taken. And we have now recently released two repudiation notes, two repudiation statements, one on the assassination of the two members of Podemos party who were brutally assassinated on Saturday in Avenida Joaquim Chissano in Maputo, and the second on the policy brutality against the demonstrators on Monday during the shutdown that was called by Venancio Mondlane, one of the presidential candidates. So this is the scenario right now, and we are clearly concerned by the direction things are taking, and it's a clear reflection that the democratic space is shrinking as people were pacifically demonstrated, and it's a right provided by our constitution in Article 51, and we still do not have clear response from the government on what are the reasons behind all this human rights violation and policy brutalities.
So the government is yet to respond, as you said, but do you believe that their actions are adequate to address the concerns of the citizens, just giving, their lack of response so far? And in your opinion, what are the underlying factors that have led to such violence that we've seen following the elections? Are these systemic issues or is this just, what are the issues, the underlying issues in this?
Well, we are still waiting for a clear response from the government on the reasons behind this police brutality, the reasons behind the assassinations of these two citizens, Mozambican citizens, on Saturday, and yet we do not have a clear or a concrete response on that, not even from the authorities, police, military defense forces, or even from the government per se. The last statement we heard is that they are investigating, and we demanded a rapid and fair investigation for responsibilization of this for these crimes. Well, behind all those tensions, we believe is the ballot stuffing and all the irregularities that we saw that are being ignored. And actually, we need to observe that these contestations of electoral results in Mozambique are cyclical since last year's local elections. We have a lot of unsatisfaction by youth in rural and peri-urban areas, and they are the ones who are adhering to the demonstrations that this political party has been mobilizing and calling for. We have higher rates of unemployment, and I believe also the tensions and the terrorist attacks in the north are behind the general unsatisfaction and the need for demonstrations that people feel and are doing. One of the things that we notice is that, generally speaking, the democratic space has been shrinking. We have been assisting different violations of human rights when it comes to demonstrate pacifically in the streets, not only regarding electoral processes, but concerning the Cabo Delgado issue,
right.
unemployment, and other reasons that
Right.
citizens may feel like demonstrating to show their unsatisfaction or to call the attention of the institutions about their personal concerns.
All right. Well, I must say thank you, Withney, and we do hope that there's going to be some sort of response from the government, and most importantly, a constructive dialogue that would lead to a more peaceful outcome after the elections. But once again, many thanks. Withney Sabino there, our guest, giving us more in-depth analysis on the aftermath of the elections in Mozambique. Once again, many thanks.